Have you ever sat still and felt a strange lightness begin, not because something new arrived, but because something old let go? We live in a culture that shouts acquisition, more skills, more status, more noise. The deeper work often runs the opposite way. Real change frequently begins by subtraction, by loosening the straps, by setting down the luggage you've been carrying without noticing. This talk will walk you through 10 things you must quietly unfasten if you want your life to shift. None of them require a spectacle. They ask only for attention and the courage to let go. Let go of the old self that keeps driving you from the rear. There's a version of you lodged in memory, a frightened child, a shamed adolescent, a loyal fixer that keeps steering your choices by habit. You think you're choosing freely, but often you act to soothe an ancient script. That ghost prefers familiar routes, even if they hurt. The release isn't erasing the past, it's reclaiming the wheel. Acknowledge the ghost. Say, "Thank you, but I'm driving now." Watch how your choices change when your present self takes the helm. Release the hunger to be perfectly read by others. We burn hours justifying ourselves, explaining nuance, trying to make someone else see our inside. The cost is enormous. When the need to be understood subsides, you stop performing for an imagined jury. Your energy can return to creation rather than persuasion. Practice the small experiment. Speak your truth once and let it stand without further correction. Notice the relief when you stop policing how you are received. Drop the dead things you're clutching. Relationships that no longer nourish, careers that feel like anesthesia, habits that echo old pain. We keep them because the void scares us. But emptiness is a field, not a failure. Release what's lifeless in slow gestures. A quiet boundary, a reduced presence, a polite withdrawal. The space you open is the place the new can root. Quit forcing an image of invulnerability. Told to be strong, many of us stack masks until our bodies revolt. Vulnerability is not weakness. It's a resource that carries connection and real resilience. Try telling one trusted person, "I'm exhausted," and observe the effect. Strength that isn't brittle is flexible. When you stop pretending you're unbreakable, you stop breaking in secret. Stop tending relationships that make you small. Some people do not wound with dramatic acts. They shrink you with small calibrations. A look that asks you to moderate. A joke that trims your edges. A tone that dims your voice. The antidote isn't always confrontation. Sometimes it's the quieter decision to spend your time where gratitude grows rather than where your light is taxed. Notice who expands you and choose them often. Shed the beliefs you inherited and mistook for character. "I'm just shy. I'm not the creative type. I don't deserve." These aren't fixed destinies. They are learned scripts. Become a curious detective. Where did that line come from? Whose voice spoke it first? When you trace a limitation back to its origin, it loses automatic authority. Try replacing one old line with a modest counterstatement and act as if it's true for a week. Watch the nervous system follow. Quiet the relentless inner critic. There's a running narrator that rewrites every attempt as evidence of failure. That voice was installed from someone else's ledger, a parent, a teacher, a humiliating moment. You are not obliged to obey it. Interrupt. When criticism rises, name it. That's the critic. Then ask, what would compassion say? With repetition, the critic's volume decreases and your own tenderness gains bandwidth. Consolidate your scattered energy. Life fragments attention into 1,000 small leaks. Notifications, habitual scrolling, constant opinions, they erode depth. Guard your cup. Choose 2 practices that gather you. A morning pause. A weekly unconnected hour. A short daily walk without a phone. Energy returns when it's allowed to pool. Productivity and presence follow. Relinquish the fear of other people's eyes. We shape ourselves to imagined spectators, adjusting tone, posture, ambition. Most observers are busy with their own script. The cost of living for others' judgments is your own life. Practice one small anti-performance. Do something for which you expect no applause. Let silence follow it. See what remains. Let go of the compulsive need to control outcomes. Control feels like armor against uncertainty, but it is also a straitjacket that wastes vitality. Surrender here doesn't mean passivity. It means choosing to engage without scripting every breath. Start with a small experiment. Plan intentionally, then release attachment to the result. Note how synchronicity or relief sometimes arrives when your grip softens. These 10 releases are not a checklist to be completed in one fevered week. They are quiet commitments. They require small daily repetitions, the tiny funerals for the parts you no longer need. The paradox is that subtraction creates room for arrival. When you stop stacking your life with performative fixes, something deeper can grow: clarity of desire, steadier attention, an appetite for truth over appearance. There will be resistance. The old parts will plead. They have a logic. We survived this way. Be grateful to them. They earned you safety in storms. But safety that prevents flourishing is not truly serviceable. The work asks you to listen to those voices, honor their past role, then tenderly escort them into a new function or restful retirement. You will notice signs the process is working. Your nights may be quieter, reactions thin. You sleep differently. Decisions take less drama. Small synchronicities appear, meetings arranged, opportunities aligning not as magic, but as the consequence of a less cluttered field. Relationships that remain performative either deepen or thin. Both outcomes are useful. Your attention will feel less like a leaky vessel and more like a steady lamp. This practice is not spiritual bypass disguised as growth. Let grief be grieved. Let accountability be required where it's owed. Releasing is not excusing. The ethical core of this subtraction is presence, honesty about harm, repair where possible, and refusal to turn pain into a trophy. Letting go without these pieces risks evasion. The wise path holds both release and truth. So begin modestly. Pick one item from this list, the one that pulls at you with the smallest, clearest tug, and act in a small way today. Say one sentence, make one boundary, remove one app, speak one truth. Keep a tiny record of these quiet removals. Over months, the cumulative effect will be unmistakable. At the end of the day, change often arrives as silence. A smaller list of demands on your energy, a calmer breath, a clearer direction. You are not becoming less by unburdening. You are returning to a truer center. When you clear away what is not yours, what remains is not emptiness, but the space for what truly belongs. If this guided letting go landed for you, mark one small thing you will release today and let it be a private vow. Share a single word in the comments if you wish, a word that names a first light, breath, quiet, border, home. These small testimonies matter. The change you seek does not need a trumpet. It needs your steady, daily, courageous unfastening. Start now.